is about. There's something evolving. Whatever may come, the world keeps revolving. They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
We're digging under the airwaves of mainstream radio in the case of misstep music.
You can expect to hear songs that don't get played from the artists you know and love.
Funk to punk,
Rock to reggae.
hip-hop to doo-wop.
Look beneath the surface of the mainstream.
The music may surprise you and expand your musical cuisine.
Join us, Ryan
And Emma,
for a time warp into
History repeating.
hey, welcome back to History Repeating Episode 3.
We're so excited for our guest this week, legendary singer Valerie Holiday of the 3 Degrees. And if you're new to History Repeating, you've never seen the show before, we like to bring back music from artists that maybe are not as well known, especially by younger generations. We've got to interview Middle of the Road and Cindy Alter of Clout, and Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls is coming up next week. So we get to talk to a lot of people, but this week was Valerie, and she was so much fun and so talented.
Yeah, if you remember the show, the Soul Train, you might recognize the song of Soul Train by the 3 Degrees. And it's... Oh God.
PSOP, the sound of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And Valerie wanted to make a special note of that song because a lot of people don't really know that there was the 3 Degrees on it, especially people maybe in Europe more where it wasn't a bigger hit. But it is a really good song and an incredible song. The vocals are kind of, it's not really a lyrical song. The vocals almost work as like they're an instrument in the song. It just blends together. So if you don't know it, this is TSOP. and that was TSOP, better known as The Sound of Philadelphia, which, of course, was done by Gamble and Huff, two legendary producers and writers. They were the sound of Philadelphia, and the 3 Degrees were a big part of that, especially in the early years when they were signed to the label. Big part of forming that Philly soul.
Yeah, I think the song was actually covered 25 times, and in the 80s covered by Dexy's Midnight Runners, which is really different from the original 3 Degrees disco and soul version. It has more of like 80s keyboard feel to it.
Yeah, you wouldn't really expect that from it. And I mean, the 3 Degrees, they got to work with so many good producers. I mean, Gamble and Huff, of course, of The Sound of Philadelphia. In the 80s, they worked with, they're called the Hit Machine, Stock, Atkin, and Waterman, who, of course, Never Gonna Give You Up. They're incredible producers. And then they also got to work with one of my personal favorites, Giorgio Moroder, who, I mean, where to start with Giorgio Moroder? So talented, so good, pioneering everything, incredible. And they got to work with him on 2 albums later on, and as Valerie said, it was a change between Gamble and Huff to Giorgio Moroder. So this is what Valerie kind of remembers about working with Giorgio.
That was very interesting because it was a switch in I guess in genres, so to speak. We went into the disco feel at that time. So with Moroder, it was very interesting because whereas with Kenny Gamble, you would be given a song to just learn the melody and the words, and once you got behind the microphone, you were able to do with whatever you wanted. He had. Kenny Gamble had in his head what he wanted, just like Giorgio Moroder did as a producer. I think they kind of know what sound they want, and so therefore they pick the lead vocals accordingly, and then we go in and put down the backgrounds, to engulf that sound. So it was interesting in working with a different style of producing.
And the 3 Degrees, they did so many good songs with Giorgio Moroder, even though it was only 2 albums. Personally, my favorite album, 3D. And this song is actually from the 3D album. It's called Set Me Free. And you can really tell it's got Giorgio Moroder written all over it. So this is Set Me Free.
Valerie really carried Set Me Free with her soulful voice, and she had a lot of great things to say about her collaboration with Marauder.
That was kind of like an album filler that Giorgio threw in there. And it was like, okay, here, do this song and just go away and come back with something on that one. So we sat down and put our little heads together and we got it done.
Set Me Free is probably one of my favorite 3 Degree songs. You can really tell Giorgio Moroder is all over it. You can really tell his production style. So unique.
It's really like a motivational and uplifting song, and you can really hear kind of like the synthesizers in the song. Just Giorgio Moroder is just really big influence.
Really, yeah. Really, really big. And you can tell it's a 3 Degree song and a Giorgio Moroder song, which is why I love it so much, because, I mean, I love the 3 Degrees and Giorgio Moroder, so you put them together, you can't go wrong. And on the same album, this next song was actually Valerie's favorite song of the Giorgio Moroder ones. A bit slower, but it is a really, really, really good song. It's called Starlight, and it's definitely a really different song than all the other songs. It's very slow compared to the more up-tempo Giorgio Moroder.
Don't have no time to follow rainbows. There never was a pot of gold. And you brought the magic with your love and your simplicity. It's so easy when you find the key to see. The circles turn and you are with me. You gave me strength and faith to be. And the stars align and bring us into perfect harmony. You're a guiding star that shines its light on me. You're like starlight, you're like moonlight, you're my never-ending breath of mystic light. You're like starlight, you're like moonlight, guiding star of the night, guiding star of the night, guiding star of the night, guiding star of the night. Life's force is never to be challenged. There'll always be a mystery, like a sweet vibration running through my veins when you kiss me. Justified belief in powers you can't see. You call me baby, I will follow. I'll trust in you, believe in me. And the stars align and bring us into perfect harmony. You're a guiding star that shines its light on me. You're like starlight, you're like moonlight, you're my never-ending breath of mystic light. You're like starlight, you're like moonlight, guiding star of the night, guiding star of the night, guiding star of the night, guiding star of the night.
And as you could tell, that was Valerie singing lead on the song, and she remembers it pretty fondly. This is what she had to share about it.
I love that song. I love it. It was really a joy to perform it as well. We did a television special in the United Kingdom, and that was that's one of the songs that was in the show. We enjoyed making up the choreography for it as well. It's kind of quiet. It's a quiet creeper. you know
Yeah.
it's on, yes, it's like if you have the album and you play the album, you slowly become aware of different cuts on the song that weren't necessarily released as singles.
I think if there's one word to describe the song, it has this really smoky feel, really like a smooth kind of funk song.
Yeah, and big difference from Set Me Free. And probably their Marauder work is less known in North America than their kind of iconic sound of Philadelphia, which, I mean, you can't ignore that sound. They worked with so many different producers and were part of so many iconic sounds, but the sound of Philadelphia was huge sound. And they were a massive part of that. And I got to talk with Valerie kind of about how it feels to be a part of such a memorable and iconic sound. So this is what kind of Valerie had to say about just being a part and being able to say that she was a part of the sound of Philadelphia.
That was absolutely mind-blowing, because we finally we always listened to the different groups that were on Philadelphia International at the time, but we never had any idea that we were going to be meeting them and becoming part of the family. So when it did happen, it was a very exciting time for us. And we worked with the different producers that were on the label, Tom Bell and Bunny Siegler and all the other guys.
The Philadelphia sound was such an iconic sound, but it wasn't just popular here in North America. It extended across the globe. I mean, it became massively successful, especially in Europe, and the 3 Degrees became really popular over there. But their first big hit was a classic example of the Philly sound, The Year of Decision. And if you don't know it, it's going to get stuck in your head for days and days. It is such a good song. So this is The Year of Decision. And that was The Year of Decision, which is, I have to say, it is almost my favorite song, but my favorite 3 Degrees song is, we'll be playing it later, and I think it's most people's.
You can really hear these strong harmonies. It just sounds so great. And Valerie's voice is so strong in it as well.
And it's so like just uplifting. It's so just like, you put it on and you're going to be in a good mood. It's just an incredible song, and it really kind of put the 3 Degrees on the map in terms of the rest of the world, made them big international stars. And Valerie has a lot of fond memories about this song. So this is what she had to say.
That was written by Gamble and Huff. That was during the time where they were trying to put out that positive message mode, and Your Decision is one of our big songs. And yes, we still do perform that in our show. That song book, that album, the complete album is kind of like the base of our show. We kind of put things in there, but the majority of those songs, Take Good Care of Yourself, and Your Decision, and Dirty Old Man, it's that's kind of our base now.
So Valerie sang lead on Year of Decision, but their first single, Maybe, was another song that Valerie sang on, and I think it's probably the best song to really showcase her voice. I mean, you can really hear there's so much power in that song, and it's an incredible song. And they even came up with a little opening to the song. So this is what kind of Valerie remembers about working on and writing. It was their first single. So this is what she has to say about their very first single from 1970, Maybe.
That was written by our manager, Richard Barrett. And the first, I think, recording was by the Chantels. I think Janis Joplin also did recording on it. When we got a hold of it, it was, like I said, necessary to make it ours. So we put a monologue. I wrote out it took me quite some time, but I wrote out the monologue that I do on the beginning, on the front of the song. And when we went into the studio, they were really like blown away with it. And we kind of went into the microphone and we did it in one take, which Richard finally said, "Good job."
And that it's really incredible to hear like the early stories of the 3 Degrees before they became really successful and really popular. And I think it's just best just to play Maybe, because it's a really good song, and it really, I mean, I can't stress it enough. Her voice is incredible on it. So this is Maybe.
You know, girls, it's hard to find a guy that really blows your mind. And you just dig everything he does, like when he gives you that great big special hug and that heavy kiss. Girls, you know the kind that's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it really turns you on. Well, I had a guy like that. And then that time that happens to all of us, we had an argument. And like all, and I mean all us girls, I said some pretty dumb things like get lost. I don't want to see you anymore. But he was cool. He just stood there looking so hurt. And he said, "If that's the way you want it." And he split. And I just stood there looking dumb and let that man walk right out of my life. And I've been as evil as a wet hen ever since. I told myself I wasn't gonna sweat it, but I did. Oh, he was inside of me. And my thoughts, my dreams, every place I went, I saw his face. And my friends, they knew. I know they knew. And then one evening I was standing at the bus stop and I heard a voice behind me say, "Hi, baby." Oh, I just fell all apart inside because I hadn't heard that voice in such a long time. I turned around, and there he was, looking good. Oh, I just can't tell you how good that man looked to me. And as I stood there trying to maintain myself, he asked me if I had a few minutes. I really wanted to tell him that I had a lifetime, but I couldn't blow my cool. We stopped at a cozy little place, and I guess the shock of seeing him made me order a martini, because that's something that I've never done before. But I felt I needed something stronger than coffee to lean on. Oh, the music was soft, and the lights were low, and that drink had started going to my head. He hadn't said anything about us, so I knew it was my move. And it had to be now. I could feel my nerves building. I couldn't let him go, not this time. Not this time. So I took his hand, looked him straight into the eye, and I said,
So, I mean, obviously, you could really hear, I mean, such good vocals. I was so surprised when I heard it.
So surprised by the beginning. It's a lot of like a talk sequence, and
And they made
so
that up,
great.
yeah.
Oh wow, you can
Yeah.
really hear like the strong raspiness and power in Valerie's voice through the whole song. It's great.
It's such a good song, and it's a cover of, I think it's the Chantels, another girl group that did it, but the 3 Degrees, they really make it their own, and it is such a good song. I just love her vocals on it, and it has really good harmonies in it too.
Definitely.
I mean, the 3 Degrees, they're, I think, best remembered for the harmonies. They have such good harmonies, and they worked at that. It didn't just come naturally. They really worked at getting those harmonies. It was a job that they had to do. They would go and they would have to practice doing their harmonies. So this is what Valerie remembers about kind of working with the other members of the 3 Degrees about, coming up with the harmonies, because they did it all themselves.
I think the singing in the church choirs, because we all came from kind of a religious background, that kind of helped to give you an ear for harmonies, because we had the soprano in the middle and the alto, so we had the vocal power that we needed, and we would just sit for hours and just do arias, of melodies and things, just to see what sounded, what would fit where. We practiced on that because it was very important that the pitch be precise. And we just loved when you hit a certain chord of notes, how it would ring, and we would just work on that. We enjoyed it very much.
So I think a really good song to show the harmonies is I Didn't Know, which is the first song I ever heard by the 3 Degrees. I heard it on Sanford and Son. As Valerie said, it was kind of like their little acting debut. It was they did it live, and it was really good performance of it. But this is I Didn't Know, which is a really great song and has a lot of great harmonies on it.
So you can really hear how all of their voices really blend together in harmonies, but also each of their solos really showcase their unique voices. And I know they trained themselves, self-taught, for choreography and also vocals, but definitely the choreography.
And with the vocals, as Valerie said, as a lot of soul singers learned in the church from a young age, but the choreography was all their own, and they made up their own harmonies too. I mean, they put in a lot of work into it, and they really elevated the girl group kind of a sound. They really kind of brought it up to something more than what it was in the 60s. They, would do these complex choreographies with very difficult harmonies, and they would be performing in big gowns and all this. They were really elevating what girl groups were, and really brought it into the 70s. And the choreography sometimes could be really difficult. There's a particular song called Jump the Gun from 1979. a Giorgio Moroder song, and it has some pretty difficult choreography. And it was pretty funny, Valerie talking about that and how much work that was and her memories on that. So this is what Valerie remembers about the choreography and the song itself.
I don't know what we were thinking when we made up the choreography for that. But it was definitely a high energy day. That was for sure. We had to keep up with the groove, so it needed to be something that did that. That's a very tricky song too. That wouldn't be one of the ones I try to tackle today. It's a little too, I think it's a little bit more than we could handle. If we got the song out, there was no way we'd be able to do the choreography. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
So I think it's best to show the live performance from the Royal Albert Hall that they did in 1979 of Jump the Gun. It's incredible that they're doing this dance routine live. There's no backing track or anything. These are live vocals that they're doing. It's really hard, and it's really impressive that they come up with that. So if you can, I suggest you watch this video of Jump the Gun.
My name is Sheila Ferguson.
My name is Helen Scott.
My name is Valerie Holiday.
And we are the 3 Degrees.
Ah, thank you.
But we do hope that you enjoy the show that we have lined up for you this evening. We've got a lot of this and a lot of that, and we hope you dig it. We're going to jump the gun now.
Ah.
Conversation.
just thinking back to the strong choreography from the video, also, you can just imagine how much power they'd have to be dancing and singing and just belting out the way they are.
And it's in the middle of a concert. It's not just a one-off performance. They were like keeping that going. And if you look, I mean, if you think about how hard it would be, they're doing like at the chorus when they go jump the gun.
Jumping.
They are jumping and shaking, and it's really hard to hold a note and keep like you not have your voice vibrating when you're jumping. Most singers, you want to keep yourself like straight, not moving, and head up. So it's really difficult and really impressive that they did that.
Yeah, I also want to note they're in heels too.
Yeah, I was going to say they're in heels, and they still have to look good when they're doing it. Like, so it's a lot of work. And Valerie, I asked her about a memorable moment in her career, and she gave a really good answer. It was about concerts, live performances, and the interaction with the fans. I mean, she's so grateful for all of her fans. So this is a fun story about just a memorable moment that Valerie's had during her very long career with the 3 Degrees, celebrating 60 years this year. That makes them the longest running girl group in history.
We were in we were in Belgium, I think it was. I can't pull to front of mind the name of the theater, but it was huge. I was petrified when we went in there for sound check because I thought to myself, "Oh my gosh, I hope there are not going to be any empty seats in this place because it's too big." So when we walked out there on Shake Your Groove thing at the very opening of the show, and everybody stood up. It was like I just could have passed out right there. I could have, because the ovation was, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. When we finished the first song, it's like they stood up, and when you see a theater that holds like 5,000 people, and everybody is up, it's like you just want to stand up there and just faint, you know. Because it's just and to hear the volume that is coming at you from the cheers, it's overwhelming. It's like it takes everything that you have to keep not to stand up there and start bawling, start crying, because then the makeup is going to get messed up and the lashes are going to come off. But it's such an overwhelming feeling on When Will I See You Again when they hear that first da 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 da. It's like, oh my gosh, and they go crazy. It's very hard to kind of, I have to calm myself down, and just take a couple of extra inhale deeplies, so that I can, get myself grounded, so that I can sing this song without crying, because that is one thing I have learned over the years. You cannot cry and sing at the same time. You just can't do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You look bad and you sound bad too. So, you have to try and hold a grip on yourself.
And Valerie mentioned in that clip, When Will I See You Again, which is their best known song. It is such an incredible song. And that one is my favorite song and her favorite song. It's really just such a good song. And I mean, I think without any more introduction, I think we should just play When Will I See You Again?
Ooh.
And what can you say about that song? It's just the perfect song. Like, it really is. And I'm kind of at a loss for words with it because it's just such a good song. It's my favorite song. It's fans' favorite song. It's Valerie's favorite song. It is just really the perfect song.
It just has like the perfect 70s feel, and just again, their harmonies are just so beautiful. It's just.
But I mean, it is a timeless song. It really, it's just incredible with the harmonies and the vocals on it. It is just such an incredible song. And of course, should mention, Sound of Philadelphia. It was from that era, from their big album that had tons of hits on it. Dirty Old Man, When Will I See You Again, I Didn't Know, Year of Decision. It was a really big album. And this was easily, it's their most memorable song. It's just such an incredible song. And the three, and really kind of, as Valerie said, it kind of takes on a new meaning now with everything that's happened. When Will I See You Again? It really, especially to the fans and to Valerie and performing, it means a lot more.
Yeah, it has so much emotion in it.
Yeah, it's taken on a new meaning over the years. And while I was interviewing Valerie, everything just kind of came back to When Will I See You Again? It's just kind of just the song for everything, the perfect song. And it was incredible to get to talk to the person behind that song. So lucky that Valerie did this, and she's such a talented artist. And the 3 Degrees, they're planning a European tour coming up at later this year. 60 years, and Valerie's been a part of it for the majority of the time. She's been there since 67. So, I mean, they've been going on forever. I think only the Rolling Stones have them beat in terms of bands. So, and Valerie's the longest serving member. She's been there for almost the entire time. So it was really great to hear the 3 Degrees. And next week, we're going to have Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls, and we can't say who else we have coming up because we don't want to give anything away. But they are truly some more incredible artists that we have. Some really, really incredible artists. So we're so lucky to have that. But until next time, I'm Ryan.
I'm Emma.
And this has been
History repeating.